Hey everyone, it's Jade from Shut Up and Rock On, and on the line with me today I have James Kottak, who you may know from Kingdom Come and the Scorpions. James, how are you doing?
Shut up and rock!
Yes!
Great. How are you, Jade?
I'm great, thank you for asking. So getting into a little bit of history of you, I actually, before I even knew that you were in the Scorpions, I knew you best from Kingdom Come. And how do you end up getting recruited for that gig?
Well, Kingdom Come, we opened, when our album came out in 1988, we got on the Monsters of Rock tour, and that was headlining was Van Halen and Scorpions and Dokken and Metallica, and we were the opening band. We went on like about 1:45 every day, and Kingdom Come and Scorpions were on the same record label at the time, so we always stayed in the same hotel with them. And you know, we had quite a few dinners together, and you know, you have so much extra time. The Monsters of Rock, we only played 3 days a week, so there was a lot of hanging out time, and so you know, you get to know each other quite well. It was an over 3-month tour. Then we did an indoor arena tour, Kingdom Come opening for Scorpions for like 20 shows. So you know, you get to know people and blah blah blah. Also, a couple years later, did an album with Michael Schenker. It was and Robin McCauley, the MSG album.
I love it.
And you know, rock and roll is a really small world. And years went by, and you know, one day the phone rang in 1995, and it was the manager. They said, "Hello, James." He's a very proper Englishman. You know, I managed the Scorpions, and they're interested to see if you want to come over to Germany and have a play. And we go, sure, you know, and so I went over, and we picked up where we left off, and also the producer, Keith Olsen, I did probably like 15, 16 albums with him as a drummer, appearing on other people's albums, plus he produced Kingdom Come, and my band Wild Horses, and Scorpions did Crazy World with him, so I dropped by the studio and visit with him then, so, and I said to the manager, I go, well, what made them think of me? They go, well, they remembered you were a very nice guy. And also you were a very good drummer. Yeah. And I was like, well, that's great to hear, man. So, see, you never know. So, I played on some tapes and stuff. I flew over, and as they say, the rest is history, man. I was so fortunate, so lucky, and so thankful for the opportunity. 21 years I was with Scorpions, and I have no regrets, and I'm still really good friends with them. I will be seeing them here coming up October 6th. We're having a little dinner, and then I'm going to go see a Scorpion show. It's crazy. So, you know, it was an amicable departure for myself, and we remain on excellent terms.
I was going to say, have you seen the Scorpions perform since you left the band?
Never. I mean, I've seen, of course, tons of video, and, but when you're the one performing in the stuff and stuff on YouTube and from, you know, the live stuff, it's you don't think of it, but this is going to be really interesting to go and, you know, visit with all the guys and actually be in the audience. You know, I'll go out to the soundboard and watch a Scorpions show. It's crazy. So it's pretty exciting and interesting all at the same time.
And in regards to Kingdom Come, you played on the first 2 albums, right?
Yeah, well, that was the original Kingdom Come, you know, the original 5. And then after that, it kind of went south, and we kind of parted ways, and, you know, things happen. But I'm so proud of those first 2 albums. I co-wrote on both of them on a few songs, and they're just great albums. You know, the songs are great, Lenny's incredible, and we just go it. And on that note, I'm actually talking to Lenny in hopes that we can next year do a Kingdom Come. I don't like to call it a reunion, but a Kingdom Come reboot, because it will be the 30th anniversary of our debut album. Yeah. And I know we've never done this, and the original 5 are available. And we were actually going to do this around 2012-13, but as you know, Scorpions said farewell and then changed their mind, and we continued on. So I had to, you know, put that on the burner. And so now we're talking. We'll see what happens here, man. Because I love that. I love the music, and you know, Lenny's great. The whole band is great. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that would be great. Do you think if that happens, you guys would just do like a shows or like an album or something? Like, what do you think that would consist of?
We would definitely do like some shows, maybe do as many festivals, and in between the festivals hit some, like House of Blues or whatever, because we've never toured in this capacity. There's been a lot of demand for it, and especially when you have the original 5, that's what's special about it.
Oh, yeah.
Because you have interchangeable people all the time in all these bands, and so we'll see what happens. We're just in the planning stages. Hopefully it happens, and maybe it won't. You never know.
Now, since you are one of the original 5, I know you know more than anyone that the first record especially was really pegged as being, quote-unquote, a Zeppelin ripoff. If you're gonna be accused of something, at least rip off the best. I mean, it was just great music, and you could say that all you want. And my drumming compared to John Bonham, thank you, I'll take it. Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you, I'll take it. And I've never had a problem with it. I think some of the responses from a couple guys in the band maybe misled people. And the press is so funny when a band comes and they get huge really fast. They love to knock them down. Some press people do, and some press people don't. And it's like bad news travels. Good news travels fast, but bad news travels faster. That's what happened with Kingdom Come. Same thing kind of happened with Quiet Riot, in the early days. And but it's what it was. I'm super proud of this stuff, man. I never had a problem with it. Go call us Zeppelin ripoffs. Who cares?
Because I always ask, because whenever bands get pegged as like a ripoff or whatever, I feel like the band you guys didn't write that first album saying that we want to sound like Zeppelin or anything like that.
Absolutely not. Lenny, before I even went to quote audition, I got this tape and these 4 songs were on there. It was just Lenny with his drum machine and him singing. I was just like going, oh my God, this is phenomenal. I listened to the tape like 3 times in a row, and it was Get It On and What Love Could Be and 17 and some other song. And I was just like going, this is great. I mean, if anything, 17 is a song that if you listen to STP, Vaseline that's a complete ripoff of 17. It's the exact same riff.
Yeah.
So, this goes round and round, but who cares, man? It's just rock and roll.
And anyone who's ever played with Dio, I know that you super briefly, you played like a handful of live shows with Dio, and I always have to ask, how was that?
You know what? That was a mega dream come true. And Vinny, unfortunately, was sick and called me. He goes, Andrew, can you do these shows? I think it was only like about 8 or 9 shows. It was West Coast things. And man, dude, number one, I was a nervous wreck because I was a fan of Ronnie since Rainbow.
Of course,
I learned how to play double bass drums. I'm not great on double bass. I learned how to play double bass drums from Light in the Black on the Rainbow Rising album. And I was like, wow. And it was just like, wow. But I met Ronnie over at Vinny's house for a barbecue once in around 1988 or 89. And Ronnie's one of those guys, from the minute you meet him, you were his friend. Mm-hmm. And he was just like one of these guys that go, hey man, and every time I say, hey James, how you doing? He was just such a down-to-earth, really cool guy. And it was a thrill. Later in years, we did not one, but I think 2 tours where it was Dio and Deep Purple and Scorpions, and then we did some other shows with Ronnie, and he was just such a great guy and a phenomenal singer. And I went to not Black Sabbath, the other with Ronnie and Geezer. What was the Heaven and Hell?
Oh, I can't remember.
And, yeah, but man, that was just such a thrill. I still have people send me clips of that all the time. I have videos of it here and there, and like, wow,
Yeah, I always ask because I never got to see Ronnie before he died. I'm only 19. I don't know if you know that. I don't know if Mitch told you.
I did not know that. It's cool that you're into hard rock and you know your history, bitches.
Thank you. But yeah, I never got to see Ronnie before he passed away. So now whenever I interview anyone who's ever interacted or played with him, I always have to ask because that's one of the greats,
Well, I think Wendy has organized a hologram tour.
Oh, yeah.
With it'd be Ronnie with hologram, and I think somebody of the original guys from this band. Mm-hmm. So, and that's going to be like a world tour. So, I mean, that's as close as you can get. And I've heard those hologram shows are pretty good.
How do you feel about the hologram? Because I know some people think it's insulting to Dio, and a lot of different opinions.
You know, I think anything that celebrates rock and roll, go for it.
Yes.
You know, if you want to put a mannequin up there dressed like whoever, not Ronnie or whatever, and play the music, and everybody just comes and there's no band and just blast the music, go for it, man. You know, I just, why debate it? It's just rock and roll. And Ronnie, I mean, maybe he'll be exposed to even more new fans and more people get into rock, you know?
And moving on to your time in the Scorpions in general just have a crap ton of albums, and you were a part of quite a few of them. So what are some of your favorites that you worked on with them?
Well, I joined in '95, and I did not play on Pure Instinct. However, I did play on some tracks, but they didn't go on the album. But I did do the Pure Instinct tour, and then there was Eye to Eye in '98 or '99 maybe. And then we did Berlin. We did in 2000. We did an album called Hurricane 2000, and that was classic Scorpion songs and a few new ones performed with the Berlin Philharmonic.
Yes,
and that was a super proud moment for me. It was a super mega challenge. We recorded live 2 nights in Hanover, Germany, and we also recorded in the studio, and that was super mega. That was like wow. And then fast forward to I think 2004. I'm sorry. And we did Unbreakable, which we just done the orchestra album, the Acoustica. Then we went to get back to Scorpion's hard rock roots. And Unbreakable, I love that album, and it's one of my favorites. I was very proud to wrote 2 songs for that and co-wrote a couple others on that album. And I mean, Klaus Meine singing my lyrics.
Yeah.
It blew my mind. And you know, that was a great moment. And of course, then you know, there was a few more. Humanity. But when we got to Sting in the Tail, I think that was 2010, that album, the songwriting and the songs are just great. And it was a lot of songs that Rudolph and Klaus had in their vault, and we took and regurgitated them, and the producers turned it upside down. And then that, and then Return to Forever is another great album.
Yes.
And in between, there was a lot of DVDs. We did the Return Forever in a Day movie, which was, I think, our 4th attempt at making a kind of a documentary, whatever kind of movie, and that came out great. I'm super proud of it. And gosh, I mean, there's just so many great moments. You know, but that's about it in a nutshell.
Nice. And now your solo band, which is just Kottak, right?
Kottak.
Yes.
Like Kottak Attack.
Kottak Attack.
You know, I don't like to call it a solo band because through the years I've always had Rick Steyer, the guitarist from Kingdom Come. He basically did all the guitars on almost all the albums because basically I'll write the stuff and, you know, I play it. I write everything on guitar, whatever, and I really suck, but I look really cool when I'm playing live, and that's really all that matters. And but he'll translate everything. He basically lays the bedrock tracks on the album. So I don't like to call it a solo project. It is a band effort, him, and I have many different bass players I've used. And of course, you know, Athena was the drummer, and so coming up on this album, it's I've picked out a bunch of songs, and we're just kind of like pre-production wise, just like kind of getting down to the, you know, what's going to go on and this and that. And but funny, I posted on social media, hey, do you think it's time to do for a new Kottak album? And I was really flattered. I mean, hundreds of responses. And also with those responses, I got a lot of responses from different musicians, like from Doug Aldrich to
I love Doug. Nice.
Dude, he's so great.
He is.
He played with Dio when we toured together.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's rating the rock. He's just awesome. And we've talked about doing something together for years. And anymore, what's so cool with technology, you know, I'm here in LA. Me and I'm partners with a studio with this friend of mine, Bruce, who's kind of like a producer, bass player guy, and I've known forever. And then, of course, we have an engineer. So between the 3 of us, we'll get like the basics done, and then we'll send the tracks. With this technology, you can send a track to who, like, I'd love to have Gus G play on it, you know?
Oh, he's great,
I mean,
too,
it's not metal, but he's just a great guitarist, man. If you've ever seen him live, he's just phenomenal. And a friend of mine in Germany plays bass and guitar, and I just want to kind of have a little bit of this and that, and who's who kind of come and play on it. And but we'll have our basic three. You know, I'll do the drums, of course, and then hopefully get this thing out in February, and you know, we'll see what happens. And it looks like we might be doing like a not a GoFundMe, but a pledge music.
Oh, thing, those are really popular, yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? Everybody's doing them. I mean, everybody from Korn to this to that. And because, of course, the record business is broken. There is no money. There are no labels. And nobody buys albums. And to do an album properly, you need money.
Yes,
and,
you do.
I don't like to half-ass anything. You know, the studio costs money, engineers, supplies, extra musicians, and I live in L.A., so there's all kinds of great people around here that I can call and say, hey, pop by the studio. So we'll see what happens, man. I'm super excited, and because it took a lot for me to get to here today.
Yes.
Because last year, you know, since my departure with Scorpions, which was totally amicable, love the guys, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to get James 100% healthy, which I've really worked hard on.
Good.
And I'm going to. I've never had a year off. And my two sons, my 24-year-old and 20-year-old, live here with me. The 24-year-old just moved out, and he has a band, Bad Sons, S-U-N-S. They've been on Jimmy Kimmel and Cohen. They're doing great.
Oh, cool.
I'm so proud. And so, you know, it's been a great, I kind of like, just sometimes you got to step away from it all and just to reapproach and start new. So I'm looking at this as kind of like the second chapter of my life, and I'm excited. You know, 6 months ago I wasn't excited to you know, you have to get that feeling, you have to miss something to want it again sometimes. And in this case, I finally, I don't know, over the last 2-3 months, like, oh man, I'm getting antsy, I got to do something. And I've had quite a few calls to go tour with this one and that one, some pretty big names, but it was nothing I really was passionate about or wanted to do. So I'm going to do this and talk about the Kingdom Come situation, and we'll just see what's coming along.
Well, I'm glad that you've gotten yourself into a good headspace. Now, but when the new album for you comes out, are you going to plan to tour that or anything?
That's the whole point.
Oh, good.
I mean, the album is almost, I mean, yeah, we'll sell some, and hopefully we'll get donations, and we'll fund it, and all that. The album is mostly a promotional tool anymore, just like videos used to be. You know, of course, but we video everything. We're going to video the process of recording in the studio and send out some things. But the unfortunately, that's just the nature of the beast. And you know, it's not about making money off the music. That's gone.
Yeah.
So it's mostly make an album to have something to talk about while you're touring. And I hope to go out and play some dates here and there. And Kottak we've gone to Europe like 3 times, and we've gone to Japan a few times. We've toured mostly the Western U.S. And, you know, it's been more of a passion project. I mean, every album with nickel or 10. And it's, you know, it's fun, you know, and I'm not getting rich doing it, but I'll tell you what, it's a blast.
Good.
You know, and also live, I'm going to play a lot more drums this time around, because people are like, oh, yeah, I came, you were singing and playing guitar all the time. So I'm going to get a drummer who can play guitar, and we're going to switch off a lot more. So
nice.
Because I can sing and play drums. I sang with all the, with Scorpions, I did 90% of the background vocals, and I loved it. And getting to sing with Klaus, are you kidding?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I know, he's just so phenomenal.
Awesome. Well, is there anything else that you're working on or that you're up to that we should know about?
Well, we had, you know, I had this thing, Project Rock, with Carrie Kelly, Tim River Owens, Rudy Sarzo, and Teddy Zigzag from Guns N' Roses. And we went to Russia like 3 times. And this is when Scorpions was doing Farewell, and I was launching this, and we did an album and stuff. It's just, again, you know, there's no money from the label, so that's kind of like in a in a holding pattern. We're not sure what's going to go on with that. But it's still, you know, there. It's just on the back burner now. And, you know, I'm always open. If somebody calls and says, hey, man, you want to play drums on this track or that track, man, I'll do it, you know.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me.
Jade, thank you so much. Can I give you my social media and stuff?
Yes, of course. Plug it.
Okay. My Facebook personal is James Kottak, and then my fan page is James Kottak as well. Excuse me. And then my Twitter is @JKottak, Kottak is Twitter, and I'm on LinkedIn, James Kottak again. And my website, which I'm kind of revamping right now, but it's still up, is, of course, www.jameskottak.com. And, you know, hit me up, man. I try to respond to as many as I can, but there's only so many hours in the day. And so I'd love to hear from anybody out there if anybody has suggestions or anything about anything. I'm always, my ears are always wide open.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again.
Jade, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time and effort. And, man, you're a true rock